Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you Act 4, Chapter 2 in my Bulletstorm very hard difficulty video walkthrough. And this one's called Maneaters Prefer Tight Spots. And that is a reference to a nice little quip coming up. And just when you think Bulletstorm's run out of, acts of depravity to entertain you, they come on with a nice little bit of sexual innuendo. And it's actually quite funny, unlike some of the stuff in it. And what you're seeing now is when you shoot those bulbous yellow sacs, they release spores, and the spores, if they get on the enemies or if they get on yourself, will have a really interesting effect. Well, on you, they just fuck up your screen and give you a unique skill shot called Toxic Love, I think it's called. But on the enemies, it will actually make them fight each other, and it sends them mad. And it's always best to try and use it because you'll get a bonus for killing them if you do. And right now, when you're coming through these areas, just take note that these roofs are very low, so the best thing you can do against the enemies is the thumper. So when you come in here, if you hit that sack and then you thump, that happens. You will get a shit ton of points, and I mean a shit ton of points. You'll kill everybody, you'll do it super quick, and it looks awesome. So that is a nice big fight out of the way in seconds because the roof is low and it's designed to do just that. Then what happens now is Ishii runs off and he says he's going to open the door. And it takes him a little longer than I would have liked because I'm an impatient person, so we're stood here like idiots waiting for a bus. And there he goes, we get a nice little checkpoint. I show my impatience by spaz aiming, and we'll carry on. So Ishii's in trouble now because as we come round this corner, this big ass tentacle swallows him. And you can't actually move because you see that like piece of shit that's writhing in front of me, that root? It stops you from moving into the arena too early. And what you've just seen is a tentacle of, I assume, the boss that we're going to be fighting on the next video, which is a giant plant. But the strange thing about the boss fight is, it never seems to have one of those giant tentacles attack you, which is both good and weird. So, now you're down to just a twosome. It's you and Trishka, and it's time to follow her and track his signal coming from inside the big plant. And this level coming up is not too bad. It's just you're going to be fighting a ton of enemies, and there's going to be a lot of the big plants, the Maneaters, and if you don't see them, they'll fuck you up, so you need to be really careful. At the same time, you can get a skill shot for feeding the plants enemies, which always works to your advantage, and it's pretty cool. But when you come out to this beautiful vista in this awesome looking courtyard, I mean, this is making me so excited for Gears of War 3 because there is no way that Cliff Bleszinski, being the design director for Epic Games, has sat and watched this game through production, looked at these colour palettes and these lovely environments, and kind of thought, shit, Gears of War 3 has got to look like something special now after everybody's seen this game. And especially now that they've got that extra, 5-6 months? To beta test it and do all that other fancy shit. I'm just hoping it looks half as impressive as this, because this game is beautiful. But as you move down here, you'll see enemies spawn and you'll see those pus sacks that turn them against each other. So make sure you use them to the best of your abilities, because you'll get a nice little antidote bonus for killing them when they're fucked up. And you'll get a lovely little Toxic Love bonus if you yourself get messed up. So there we go, Toxic Love, pricked and antidote, a nice little 200 skill shot bonus. And it's a little bit like being drunk, but not as bad, because it doesn't affect your mobility, it just affects the colour of your screen. And when you come down here, there's a couple of the firework dudes, so if you kick that, if I'd have kicked it, should I say, a little bit better, I might have got more dudes, but I'm not going to complain, because there's one of those spores that you can use, and that'll mess them up enough so that we get a couple of bonuses, and we make up on the points we probably lost. And it lasts a surprisingly long time as well, that plant influence. From the spores or the pollen or whatever it is that sends people wappy. Trishka calls it a psychotropic. She also says something else, but I can't for the tits off me remember what it was. So we'll go with psychotropic. And then you'll get bum rushed by those explosive dudes that I just took care of, and they're no problem when they're in small groups. So now we've got a ton of points, we can go and buy some shit. And I'm probably going to buy the charge shot. There I go, we now have the sniper charge shot, which is awesome, and a couple of points to replenish any ammo that we might be needing. So stick with 3 guns and go. And I'm surprised I'm still using the pistol, because you'll have noticed that it's getting neglected in my gameplay now. I'm using the sniper and I'm using the carbine, and I'm eventually going to swap it out for the flail gun, because I just like the flail gun, it's really fun. And when we come through here, there is a plant, and there's a dude that runs. Here's the dude. You can't do out to him because the plant kills him every time. And then when you come into this courtyard, you have a pretty big fight with a ton of dudes. There's a couple of shotgun guys and there's a couple of normal dudes. And there's also plants in this arena, and be careful, because I cleared this entire arena out and ended up running into a plant and dying like a retard. So be careful, be cautious, and you shouldn't have too much problems here. And use the pillars for cover. They're really good cover. And it gives you a nice vantage. And right there, that's me trying to destroy the plant with a flail and with the leash, sorry, and I fuck it up. So, and it's really weird, because sometimes when you're in that mood and you're just playing the game and you're just reacting, you're not even thinking, you're just doing your thing, 'cause you're in the zone. You don't think to look at the screen and look for a quick time event, because it's jarring. It's not natural when you're gaming to have something pop up and have to suddenly focus on it. That's why people throw quick time events in cutscenes as opposed to just randomly. Because can you imagine if you were just playing the game and the quick time event just got thrown at you from nowhere in mid-combat or something? It'd be the worst game ever. But clean up these dudes. If you ever get in trouble, slide away as quick as you can. You are so fast when you're sliding, it's unbelievable. But just be very careful, because if you hit anything, you'll stop dead and you'll probably get a lovely punch to finish you off in the back of your head. But keep moving through this awesome looking garden. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the botanical garden off of Arkham Asylum, only a lot more beautiful and a lot less dark. And when you come through here, as you can see, there's a ton of the cactuses, or cacti, so just use your leash to pull them into them, and this makes this section extremely easy. Just be careful though, because the enemies can clip you around the corners of the cacti, which is annoying, but you know, it's what happens when the enemies have perfect aim and they do a lot of damage. So keep moving forward, just keep your eye out for the plants, because they will mess up your run. That's what they do. And when you go into this next courtyard, a chopper's gonna fly across and start shooting at you. And if you can shoot the chopper gunner, so to speak, you'll get an achievement for doing it worth 30G. And the best way to do it is to guide a bullet at him. And it can be a little bit awkward depending on how late you fire, but it's not too challenging. And I did it in this recording run. The only problem is I died afterwards by one of the man-eating plants like a retard, so I had to edit it out, and it's not in this final run, so I apologise about that. But if you hide behind this statue and you crouch, you shouldn't have any problems with the dude flying past on the chopper. He shouldn't be able to hit you. And then it's just a case of waiting him out. There he goes, and now we can move on to the next encounter, which just so happens to be a ton of dudes, and heavy. So if you use this rock here for cover, it's pretty decent cover, because only your head is visible over it, I would imagine. And just pick off dudes from a distance. If you hit the spores, you'll affect them all and they'll start going crazy. And then you can just clean them up at your own leisure, basically. Good night, son. And what will happen is the helicopter gets pulled down by the man-eater plants, and then from the rubble a chain gun heavy comes. So the best thing to do is if you stand behind the log I'm on now, that is pretty good cover for him, and you can just hit him with your most powerful stuff and knock his helmet off and then finish him off. So stay near this cover. If he starts tagging you too much, just crouch. I'm probably going to hit him with the sniper, as you can see, because it's a 2 to 3 bullet kill depending on how lucky you get. And here he comes. And you can't fire just yet, because he doesn't have the thing above his head, and as soon as he does, try and aim for his throat. And you see, I fucked that up, I hit his chin. But if you hit his throat, it'll be a 1 hit to stun, and then another hit to kill. But I missed again. And if you do hit his chin, 2 hits to the chin will stun him, and this, if you hit his neck, will be the kill shot. There you go. It's just hitting the neck both times, it can be so fussy. And then once he's dead, you'll get the rushing melee dudes, the toxic guys. And you can deal with these however you like to deal with them, because they're not really that much of a threat unless you're in a close quartered environment, and there's a lot of them. So that dude gets bullet kicked, I get a nice full throttle for unloading on his friend, and he's just stood chilling behind me waiting for me to finish him off. Which I do with full prejudice. And he's still alive, the douchebag. And I keep aiming for crotch shots, but I've never managed to pull off a flying crotch shot, because I don't think there is a skill shot for doing it, which is a bit of a shame.
Here. Come on.
And I don't know why I picked that up, because you move far too slow with it, and it's on a timer, so it's just a wasted weapon.
Keep up and stay alert. Maneaters love tight
But as you come through here, after you pick up this leash, you're going to go into another courtyard full of Maneaters, as Trishka just warned. And she just said the whole Maneaters prefer tight spots. And Grey's going to have a nice little witty retort. There you go. I'm not even going to touch that one, because it's just far too obvious. Man-eaters, tight spots. Oh, you can smell it in the air. But at the bottom of these stairs, as you can see, you've got the psycho, you know, IED blokes running towards you. And then there's going to be a ton of the normal melee guys. And at the top, there's probably going to be a few skull guys shooting at you and a handful of shotgun men. So, use as much cover as you can to stay safe. Blow up as many explosive devices as you can to give you the advantage, and just kill them in whichever way you can. And if you do set them on fire, a few more bullets will finish them off, so don't waste any other ammunition other than your carbine on them, and you'll get a lovely afterburner bonus. And just make your way up here and just be careful, because you can die really quickly if you get lazy. And here we go. Just teasing that dude. He somehow managed to cock block me twice, but then I finally took him out. And then keep moving up here, and you'll see those lovely looking pillars and those archways that lead into that next area. That is the boss area, but you're going to see that on the next video. And the boss is a giant plant, and it's dead easy, so don't worry whatsoever. It's a piece of cake. But just clean up the guys that you have here, and we're coming to the end of this video. So once again, thanks for watching my stuff. Watch out for the plants. Look at that bastard. If I didn't tap then, I would have died. But yeah, keep sticking with my channel, people. Once again, motherfucker interrupting my bloody outro. How dare it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. You take care.